Hello and welcome. My name is Marilyn Harder. I'm a Pilates instructor and a Pilates master trainer. I'm here today to speak to you about thoracic tug of war. I use this term, and I may even have coined this term, as the sandwich, if you will, of the connection of the rib cage engagement fostered by the rectus abdominis, serratus, and lats against the scapular connection, shoulder blades, with all of the deep muscles flattening the shoulder blades down the back. So when those two connect from front to back, it sandwiches the body in two. When you move with that activation, you're going to anatomically load the shoulder in the way it was designed to move from front to back. And as a result, we move more effortlessly. We move without discomfort or dysfunctional connection. So let's start with just a little bit of anatomy, very basic anatomy of the muscular system. So here is my little anatomy chart, and we're not going to take too deep of a dive. But basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to activate the serratus, which is in and around like a serrated knife around the rib cage, the external or upper oblique that innervates here with that serratus and sandwich. Additionally, we activate this with our breath. So the Pilates breath in itself is about that big inhale and that full and complete exhale to push out every single molecule of dead air. So we will first focus in on the connection of the narrowing and connecting posteriorly of the ribs. We'll take a nice big inhale in through our nose and exhale, blow out all that air. When that last molecule leaves, you feel a deep tightening around the rib cage. Now I'm going to demonstrate that with my fingers. These fingers are going to be the upper external obliques here. So I'm going to take a nice big inhale in. Notice how my ribs flare and expand, and as I exhale and blow out all that air, those upper obliques, external obliques, tighten, narrow, and flatten against the connection. At the same time, the serratus is doing that same work. So now here is the upper connection of the serratus. It looks a little bit more like this. And as I breathe in, it's going to expand out. And then exhale, blowing out all that air, sinking and hugging in. So then the pair work as a duo. So I'm going to take that nice big inhale in through the nose. They expand and separate, and exhale, they contract and knit together. So another way to make sure that you're engaging in through that rib cage in the front part of that tug of war is actually feeling up and underneath the rib cage. So we're going to take a nice big inhale in. Feel those fingers innervate underneath the ribs. Exhale, blow out all the air and try and push the fingers out. When my abdominals engage, I feel this deep wrapping around the midsection, and that's the transverse abdominis that's going to keep it there. The transverse abdominis connects from the upper part of that rib cage, where the serratus and the upper oblique connect, all the way down to the pelvic floor, which is going to be right around your pubic bone, iliac crest on either side. And everything's going to tighten like a corset, or for a gentleman, like a weight brace or a weightlifting brace. Okay, so that's the front part of the thoracic tug of war, where the ribs draw in, abdominals engage and connect. The second part of that thoracic tug of war has to do with where your scapula actually sit down your back. So let me just come in with the picture here. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to activate this entire set of muscles to keep the scapula nice and flat. In this picture, you see the back part of the connection. Let me grab my skeletal system here. And here you can see the scapula. So if you can notice, you've got two bones on top, the long humerus of the arm and the scapula itself. So when the scapula is in place, if you think about the head of the humerus that you just saw like an ice cream cone, the two long bones come in and connect here, and that's part of that collarbone. And then the scapula comes in and connects posteriorly, which means behind. So when it connects behind, the arm moves in a very happy place. It moves within the plane and can circumduct in that glenohumeral joint. However, when that scapula is not connected, we've got a lot of forward push on the front edge of that shoulder. And as a result, we start to stress the front muscles, or the anterior muscles of the rotator cuff in the shoulder. So, in the process of connecting those shoulder blades back and down, and you can do this simply by flipping the palms up towards the ceiling and imagining you're holding a 50-pound weight in each hand. Now you should feel like that shoulder had rolled back, and when it rolls back, here's my little diagram, when it rolls back, it's going to lock in and connect to that scapula, to that shoulder blade. So we're going to put the two together. Let's flip the palms up towards the ceiling, shoulders back and down, like you're holding 50-pound weights in each hand. And I want you to exhale out completely, feeling that serratus, the upper external oblique, and the transverse abdominis hold everything there. You should feel a greater abdominal activation all the way down to the pubic bone. You should also feel the lats join the party, keeping the scapula all the way down the back side of the body, and we create a sandwich from front to back. So when I say activate your thoracic tug of war, there's a lot that goes into it, but it's going to really enhance and make your movement more dynamic and connective. If you're interested in more tips on how to get those shoulder blades flat back and down, I recorded a separate video on scapular activators and how to work with scapular winging when those shoulder blades either want to lift or open like barn doors. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a wonderful rest of your day.